fight I never wanted to see again.
Yeah, I love it. Take another shot, please. Oh man, holy shit.
All
Nah,
right, you
yeah,
say
man.
another shot. There's a rule, actually. Us Jewish people on perm, we're not allowed to say no. So if you tell
Ah,
me to take a shot, I have to.
Oh,
well, let me also send you a Cash App notification request real quick. So you can say no real quick. Make sure I
Good
get
thing I
that
don't have
off.
Cash App, 'cause
Why you
technically I
feeling
have to.
generous?
Good thing you don't have my fucking info. Thank God.
All right. So I guess my question is, and I guess Mac, you can answer this one since I ain't hear from you yet. Based off what you just heard and how you feel, do you feel like a media rematch is warranted here?
I think they're going to do the media rematch just for two big reasons. One, Alex is a huge star, so
100%.
they want to run it back, and it's not a clear-cut fight. And two, the division's not that stacked to begin with, so
Yeah.
they are a sports entertainment company, and they're
Yeah.
always going to make whatever the biggest fight is. And right now,
Yeah.
the biggest fight is the rematch.
100%. Well, hopefully we see it. I don't know, man. I want to see Alex get back in there. I want to see him kind of look more like himself. And maybe he just was very in respect of Ankalaev. I think he did respect Ankalaev's power and stuff a lot more than I've seen him with anybody else.
Maybe he felt stronger in the clinch than he expected.
Yeah. Or maybe also too, Alex has been traveling the world and doing a lot more than he normally does before fights. And I forgot who else was talking about it. It was like he's in Australia right now and he fights in like a month. Like
I think it was DC that brought that up.
DC brought it up. Yeah. So there's a lot of factors to this. So let's see like what happens on the next camp. Maybe he slows down a bit. Maybe he takes 4 months and just locks in Connecticut or somewhere else where he wants, like the PI or something. And maybe we see results. Who knows? We'll leave it up to Dana, Mick, and Hunter to make some shit happen, and hopefully we'll see Alex Pereira fighting again soon. I think he should take a break, though, in my honest opinion, before I end that off. I think he should take a break. I think it's well warranted. Speaking of breaks and bad ones at that, my man Bobby Green, man, one of my favorite fighters, has been around for a very, very long time. This man has over 50 fights. He's a freaking warrior, but he's lost the last 4. Unfortunately, lost the last 4, and not to bad opponents, like great opponents.
Murderers Row.
Yeah, it definitely. They're literally just lining them up with a lot of great guys, and he's just not able to get through. I mean, I think we had a knockout, 2 knockouts, a submission. What was the other one before that?
Triangle choke by Patty.
Patty.
Jalen Turner.
Knocked out by Rufy, finished by Jalen Turner as well.
A really late calling decision.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the ref, do you want to see that?
The refs always do that to Bobby Green. What the fuck is up with that?
On Bobby.
Like the refs hate Bobby or something, because I've seen this man get pummeled and they're just standing there like, yeah, let me.
We still got timing around. Like,
let's wait 30 more seconds. I think 29, he'll be all right for CTE. He'll be okay.
Worth noting also, his last 2 wins are Tony Ferguson and Jim Miller.
Exactly, which are also Jim. Jim is fine. Jim's one of the older guys where I'm like, he's still good. Tony and Bobby, I mean, it's kind of like at that point, guys. Like Bobby, I love Bobby, huh?
He subbed Tony.
Yeah, I know. That was a very weird fight. Very weird fight to lead on to what happened to both of them after. Like they both have lost every fight after that. Both of them. So it's just like, I don't know, man. When is it time to hang up the gloves? Because Bobby is in no way, shape, or form or fashion has spoken anything about retirement. No, I think it's the contrary. He wants to keep fighting. So
he's a prize fighter, and he's at the end of his career, but I think he has more notoriety within the last 2-3 years than he's had his entire career. This is 100% to make his bag. I think he'll keep happily getting knocked out by top guys to get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just a suspicion I have.
Yeah, but at what point does the health risk? I mean, I guess if you're at the end of your career, you're 50 fights in, like, and he was talking about it. He was like, man, a lot of y'all don't know, like, that walk, man, like that 30, 40s, when you're in your 30s and your 40s and your 50 fights, you know what I mean? That walk out to that ring is different. It's not like when you fresh in the UFC or you fresh coming out of whatever farm league you came from it's different for them. But dude, I don't know, man. It's tough to say from this perspective. Go ahead, Mac.
I think what he needs to ask himself at this point is he still hungry for that belt, or is he kind of just taking it fight by fight, trying to get the paycheck? If that's the case, maybe you stay just for the better money. But if you could go to like another league and make the same money or even better money, it might be worth it just to have lesser competition for good pay.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, but it sucks when you like go to look up somebody's highlight reel and you possibly come across one of them just completely losing every fight on the highlight reel.
Yeah,
and I don't want the point where he's at now. Like I seen it the other day, and it sucks. Like they have one for James Vick as well. Like it's like a few people that they just kind of like put these together for, and it's like at that point, it's like it just sucks, especially when you're a fan of the person. Like it just absolutely just devastates you, and you're like, what the fuck? There's people who absolutely hate some of these fighters. Oh yeah, so this is like just pleasure for them. It's excitement for them to watch this person, you know, get knocked out or subbed or whatever. But
what's also worse is how the disrespect fans have. Like,
yeah,
just to make it into the UFC and get to stay this long, you have to be in the top 1% of fighters in the world. Like, you don't stay this long in the UFC unless you are. And the James Vick one is a good example too, because at one point James Vick was like in the top 10 of the UFC. He was ranked like number 9.
Yeah, 100%.
And people act like he was a complete bum.
Yeah, I want to say that he's a warrior. Go ahead. What'd you say, Pickers?
I was just jumping in on that James Vick comment and saying MMA fans can be ridiculous, to be fair.
Oh,
people
yeah,
are saying Alex Pereira got fraud checked. I mean, MMA fans are just wild.
Fraud check after he was like the most active champion ever. It's like he beat everybody that's at the top. He got beat by one guy at the top, and now he's fraud check. And on top of that, his only other loss is Israel Adesanya.
Oh, 48-47, by the way, he got beat.
Like, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Yeah, MMA fans can be unrealistic. I am part of that a lot of the time. So
if Dustin Poirier would have jumped that gilly and actually secured it with Islam, people would have been saying that Islam was fraud checked.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Mal ended off for us.
Yeah.
You mean Khabib, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. One thing I want to say about the Bobby Green story itself, if you look at this man's story, it's absolutely crazy. It's tragic. It's got a lot more lows than highs, and for everything that he's been wanting to do, you know, pay off a house. I believe he was talking about that during COVID. He was fighting every week if they let him. So the guy's out there putting his body, soul, and health, everything on the line for the betterment of his family.
Yeah.
Can 100%. He survive in another league? What Mac mentioned, 100%. Absolutely agree with that. But is the story over? No, I don't think it's over. And just as Pickers mentioned, yeah, we might see him. I mean, GFL's out there now. He very well could go follow Tony to that. But when does enough become enough? I do believe when people that love and care about you more come to you one day in a moment of quiet, be like, hey, man, you're not the same. You're changing. We want you around for many more years. Can we make this one the last one? And that's when that conversation is happening.